Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here at America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys.
That we are, Drew. That we are. How was Merry Christmas? Did you have a nice time with your family?
Merry Christmas, Dom, to you and yours. Yep, had a really nice day. I feel
Nice.
like I gained 20 pounds and I'm sluggish and moving slow.
Sounds like my
A
whole
lot
life.
of
All the time.
Yeah, a lot of eating, drinking, and making merry. But yeah, I had a great holiday.
That's awesome. Yeah, you have a lot of brothers and sisters.
We hosted 25 on. We actually did it on Friday. I have nieces and nephews now that have kids, and I think it's good for kids to be home Christmas Day and not have to
Oh, yeah,
pack
definitely.
up and schlep off to family. So we started last year actually doing our family Christmas, not on Christmas, and it worked out really well. We had 25. It was great, great celebration of family, and then
Nice.
Christmas Day was a little more laid back.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. Did you get any big gifts?
I got a new Kindle.
Oh,
My Kindle
one that's
went
like
kaput.
extra big so the font so you can see the font.
It's funny that you say that. It's actually smaller
Really?
than my old Kindle,
So you
and it's
just
a
read like one
paper
word at a
reader.
time?
Pretty much,
You just
it's
read
a
one word at
paper
a time?
reader, so it actually looks like you're reading on
Paper?
paper. Yeah,
Very interesting.
and you
Very
can
interesting.
vary the size of the font, which has gotten bigger every year. I was always a book guy.
Yeah.
I stayed away from the Kindle, but I got a Kindle. I don't know how long ago it was now, 5 or 6 years, and just really enjoyed how simple it is. It's easy to take to the beach and take out to the pool
Yeah.
and carry around, and not have to farkle with paper on the beach and at the pool and
No.
bookmarks and yeah. So it's a nice technology, Don.
I might have to invest in one. I
It's
still like books.
it's it it's this my stepping stone to AI.
No, I'm not a big reader. I got a new book for Christmas. I've been devouring that, so it's been pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
so, but you just stopped by our house here. You made a trek out of the gardens and came down here to the center of town, I think they call us, or
Downtown.
downtown, and delivered some nice gifts. So thank you. The kids were very appreciative, and the Christmas ornament is hanging high on the tree.
Is
Drew
it?
got a very
Nice.
yes, got a very thoughtful gift. Got our logo here made into a Christmas ornament, and it looks great on the tree. Did that down at Make
So
It
which
Personal
leads
in
me
Asbury.
I was just going to say that leads me to my first shout out
See, look at that, man.
of a
I'm so
look.
good at segueing. I'm just
You are
segueing
this
without even segueing.
you are the segue master these days.
Here we
Um,
go.
I'm the segue Three
Disaster.
Stooges, I think.
Boom.
Yeah, disaster.
Boom.
Yeah. But my first shout out, we make it personal on Asbury Avenue. It's on the 800 block, almost directly across from City Hall. And what a neat store. And they do so much and they do it well. As Dom mentioned, I took our OCNJ local logo and had it imprinted on a round piece of wood and had it made into an ornament. But you can get picture frames, you can get
Not so much imprinted,
pictures.
but like carved in there. So it looks
Yeah, it's
really
carved. Yeah, that's right.
very nice. Very nice.
They do a great job, and they're so creative, and you can, you can give gifts like that really are very personal, but don't require a whole lot of effort on the giver. Just the
It's the
idea.
thought, Drew. It's the thought that makes it count. It's very thoughtful.
Absolutely. But on top of that, they're just super people. They're just
Nice.
really nice people. Another business that you just love um, patronizing and going in there because everybody in the stores are nice. The owners are super people. They're very generous in the community. They reached out to me a couple years ago during the heart of COVID and wanted to help OCNJ Cares, and they for a couple of years, when we were doing some of the holiday things, they donated uh, a bunch of stuff, and they're just super people. So I wanted to give a shout out to We Make It Personal.
Nice.
Yeah.
What other shout outs do you have, Drew?
The other out I have is to one of our loyal listeners. We've mentioned her on the program before. I wanted to wish her well. Kathy Rymet recently had knee surgery. And if you know Kathy, you know her to see her walking the bridge, walking the boardwalk, running all over town. So to have a knee injury kind of sucks. And she had it repaired. So I wanted to wish Kathy a swift recovery. Knowing Kathy, she had to, I think she had to have her meniscus either repaired or I believe replaced. So knowing Kathy, she got the Cadillac of menisci and got it at a bargain price. So shout out to Kathy. I hope you recover quickly and well.
Same. Best of Godspeed, Kathy. Dealing with injuries with my son, never fun. So, get back on your feet soon, and we'll keep an eye out for you on the bridge and all about town in the coming new year, Drew. Because there's not many days left here in 2023, man.
Countdown's
Yeah,
on.
it went by fast. That's for sure. It was definitely a quick year this year, quick trip around the sun, if you will.
Speaking of countdown, do we have a countdown for Memorial Day? You've been slacking the last couple of.
Well, I can't Google it now, so we'll just have to start in the new year. I know when we get into like February, that's when we get into the 100 days, and that's when we get into that crunch time area. So we'll wait till we get around there.
Okay, so probably our next episode,
it'll be before February. We're going to have to take a little hiatus here. I'm taking a little hiatus myself. So
almost 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, man. It's 10 days. It's going to be a fun-filled adventure here. So we'll see what the internet's like where I'm going. Maybe we can do one, cross time zones, cross continents.
I can't do it alone, buddy.
Can't do it alone. No, nobody can. Nobody can. So there's just too much that happens here in OCNJ to go on your own. It's impossible for it not to. Any good New Year's resolutions? Any good ones?
No, I don't. I'd like to shed the 27 pounds I gained in the last week, but I'll do that quick enough. But no, I don't do resolutions. How about you?
I am going to.
You're going to buy a gym membership, aren't you?
I have one already. I go 4 to 5 days a week. So, hey man, I may be a large gentleman, but I can move the body, and I can move some weight around too. But
I'll bet you can.
Definitely. I think this year, one of the things that I want to be more consistent with is practicing gratitude and being grateful, taking time every day, a little bit of time to write down what you're grateful for. I was doing it a little bit in the past here, and then I kind of fell off the wagon, and holidays, busy, getting overwhelmed, all that stuff, making sure everything's perfect and everybody's got what they need. And I was getting a little overwhelmed. I'm like, what aren't I doing? Like, what's the difference? I'm like, I haven't taken the time to do that. So started doing it again yesterday, and gonna kind of keep it rolling through here into the new year, because definitely is gratitude is definitely a powerful I don't know, it's just powerful habit.
Energy in your life. Yeah,
Yeah, for
it
sure.
is.
You
Yeah.
know, so I was practicing it hard today on my drive out to the service
Hmm.
station. Let's put it that way. And you know what? Universe sent me a sign. I hit every green light from here to basically the Home Depot, and I went all back through English Creek and all that stuff. So, you know,
Really? That's
yeah,
pretty
every
good.
green light. Yeah,
And you made out okay at the dealership, you told me.
I did, man. Still great. Gonna write that one in the book for a long time. Let's put it that way.
Good, good.
So yeah, but no, man, it's good, man. It's new year, 2024. I'm sure there's gonna be no shortage of things happening here. Uh, in America's greatest family resort. This year was pretty eventful though, and definitely some things um, that you know will last in the history of Ocean City, and some things that could change it in the future took place this year. Um, you know, uh, so the topic of today, 1 2 3 1 2 3. If you didn't know this already, the last day of this year is 1 2 3 1 2 3. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I took the the trump card and named it 1 2 3 1 2 3, because when's that ever going to happen again? Not in my lifetime, probably.
No, it won't, because
No.
two, 3,
Yeah.
unless you live
So
another 100 years, right?
no, don't want to do that.
So the subtitle is uh, the
The top
best,
23.
top 23 of 23. So we're going to do a little recap of 2023.
And I can't believe you
And
actually had more than 23 things at one point.
I was really only scratching the surface,
Wow.
and had a list of 34 items. And yeah, there's a lot that goes on in Ocean City, a lot of news, a lot of events. Yeah, there's quite a bit. And I'm
Hence why
sure,
we're here.
hence why we're here. And I'm sure 2024 is going to have no shortage. There's
Definitely
going to be a
not.
lot going on, a lot coming up
Yeah,
to
man.
talk about. Yeah.
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 So
So we'll get right into it. So I wanted to start with, and uh, I didn't organize it by date, Dom. I thought that would be boring, quite honestly. So I just kind of organized it into groups. All right, and I wanted to
sure.
start out with local high school sports. I'm a sports fan, and we had a lot of good stuff that happened at the high school this year.
We
Um,
did.
we did. We had our girls basketball team and our boys cross country team both won the South Jersey Group 3 championship.
Way to go.
And if you remember right, the girls team was, a little bit of a question mark. They had gone through some troubles with the previous
The
coach,
basketball
and
team, right?
the basketball team, yes, the
Yeah,
girls
yeah.
basketball team. They had gone through some drama, and they ended up picking up a new coach,
A girls
Steph
basketball
Gately.
team in drama? No
Yeah,
way.
right.
No way.
But they ended up, and they beat they beat Mainland, which has a really good basketball program. They
They
were
do.
ranked in the top 3. I'm not sure if they were ranked number 1 at the time, but they were certainly in the top 3. I don't remember where they were exactly. But Ocean City went to Mainland and beat Mainland in the championship in Mainland. So that was an exciting season. Again, the boys cross country team won the South Jersey Group 3. The boys basketball team made it to the South Jersey Group 3 championship, and unfortunately lost to a really, really good Camden team. The OCHS surf team won the state championship, first time in I don't know how long. So
That one was
that's a
9 years, I think you said.
9 years.
That's what I think. I got to go back because I know we shouted them out in a previous
I
episode.
think you're right. I think it was 9 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 9 years.
And then there was the 2023 Athletic Hall of Fame inductees, and that included John Carey, Lloyd Hayes, the swimming coach who we've talked about, Drew Breckenridge, Abby Hartman, Shelley Meister, Ed Adamczyk, Maggie Wallace, and the undefeated state champion 2015-2016 girls swim team. Undefeated. Cool. That was a heck of a team. That was Maggie Wallace and Noonan. Do you remember her first name?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Same here, and I can't remember, but she was a heck of a swimmer. Anyway, congratulations to the Hall of Famers.
And then one more shout out before we get to
let's hear it.
You had Dana Ramirez, the first female wrestler ever to make the state tournament for.
Yeah, she came in 6th in the state as a sophomore.
Yeah,
so she's got 2 more years. Yeah, yep. Shout out to Dana.
Amanda Noonan.
Amanda, that was it. Did you just Google?
No, I was refreshing the list that you sent me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not Googling. I just remembered it.
Okay.
I got a lot less cobwebs than usual.
Yes, you do. Yes, sir, you do. So the next group is kind of business news, right? The Flanders Hotel celebrated 100 years. We talked about Flanders.
Yep.
Playland Castaway Cove, after they had their fire a couple years back, and
that was crazy. That was wild.
That was wild.
I remember I was driving over to my buddy's house, and we're like, "Dude, there's a fire!" And we went down on the boardwalk. It was me, Ben, and Lucy, and there were just flames shooting out onto the boardwalk. Really lucky it was a west wind day that day.
Yes.
Really lucky.
I was on the beach with Lulu, and just happened to be a couple blocks down and saw it and walked down and got some pictures and some video. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so after, it's been a couple years now, and this year they got zoning board approval to build an oceanfront roller coaster. So the building, so they're under construction, and the building that you see that's boardwalk front is, I want to say 4 stories. I could be wrong, Dom. I didn't. It's
I think it might have been 3.
3 stories. Okay, 3 stories. If you said 3, I'd believe you. If you said 5, I'd believe you. But it's under construction, and they got approval to put a roller coaster on top of that building. And they are under construction as we speak. So how cool will that be to have a roller coaster 3 stories above the boardwalk right on the ocean?
That will be pretty cool. Yeah, and they already have the big one in there too, the Gale Force.
The Gale Force,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Playland definitely has come a long way since I was a kid, and seems to be always just getting better every year. So shout out to Brian Hartley and the Simpson family for keeping that amusement park vibe alive here in Ocean City.
Yeah, they do a nice job, don't they?
Yeah,
they do a real nice job. Yeah, and very nice people.
Yep.
So next up is a couple businesses that were sold. The Tahiti Inn was sold, and the Crown Bank building was sold.
Yep.
And if you remember correctly, the city had an interest in the Crown Bank building, as did Christovis.
Builders. Yep.
Yep, and they wanted to turn it into a hotel. The city, I believed, wanted to use it to consolidate a bunch of departments, potentially to include the police department. I don't know if that was ever, put out there firmly, but I believe that was part of the plan. And somebody else stepped in and purchased the building. The same person who purchased the Tahiti, and he owns several hotels here in town. Has purchased multiple hotels here in town. Two brothers, actually. I'm saying he. It's actually two brothers. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Crown Bank building if that becomes. My guess is it would be retail on at least the ground floor, maybe a floor or two above that, and then maybe it's hotel space above that, which is a great location right downtown.
The Crown Bank?
Yeah.
You put some hotels on top there?
No, I don't know this to be fact. But my educated guess would be that's a 6-story building. And maybe that becomes, and it's a pretty big building if you've ever been in it, those offices. My guess is maybe 4 of those, the top 4 floors would become a hotel, and the first and second floor remain retail space.
We'll see. Right now, I see the office space for rent when I walk by. So,
well, I would have to imagine that there's a long lead time for that kind of construction, right? To convert that into a hotel. So anyway, that's I don't know that to be fact. That's just the rumor floating around town, Dom.
We'll see.
Next up, the oldest boardwalk business closed after 51 years, and that's Henry's. They were open for 51 consecutive years and they closed.
Wow.
That's big news.
Yeah.
And another piece of big news on the business front was the 34th Street Market, bike rental, and scoop box closed after 46 years.
Wow.
I love that spot. Ron, the proprietor, was very well known and very well liked. Ron was a great guy. He was just a great guy. I read he made the statement in the paper that all of his customers were his friends, and I believe that. I mean, I felt like a friend.
Nice.
Yeah. So the property has now been sold. I have not heard what's going there.
Couple duplexes.
Well, no, that's commercial. That's only commercial. So there are two.
Maybe they'll build a super Wawa.
Well, you're in between Wawa and the
CVS.
and Gold Coast Sotheby's, so I don't think they have all that land locked up. But we'll see. It's a really high traffic location. You have a new miniature golf course being built, actually 2, at 34th and Asbury. And a new miniature golf course. I'm not sure if it's been approved, but I think it's in the planning board at some stage at the old Bank of America building at 34th and Simpson.
So there's a couple new golfers alley down there. It seems like putting a lot of mini golf courses right in there.
Yeah, and we'll see what they do at Ron's location at 34th and West.
You gotta have something to do down in the South End. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
Otherwise, you
aside
got to come all the
from
way down to
aside
downtown.
from the not in my backyard neighbors, everybody's real excited about the miniature golf at 34th and Asbury because
Yeah.
they, as you say, they don't have to go into the center of town or up on the boardwalk for some some amusement. That's a great location there.
Yeah.
The the playground right there. You have um,
It'll be a shame, though, to lose the Blitz's breakfast sandwich. That was a staple when I lifeguarded on 34th Street.
their breakfast sandwich is good. I agree.
And they were like $1. They were the best.
It won't be a shame to lose their $5 Wednesday night pizza deal. It will
Ooh,
not be a shame to lose that.
no, that pizza was suspect at
Yes, it
best.
was. Yes, it was. They had a
Um,
lot of great stuff at Blitz's Market, but pizza was not one of them.
um, I recently saw another longtime Ocean City business was closing. Uh, Rawhauser's. This true?
Yeah. Yes, this is true.
That's
Yes.
a devastating one. Great chocolate there. Amazing chocolate. So
Well, there it there's a possibility, and it's not a done deal, but it's a possibility that another confectioner may be looking at that location.
okay, that's good. Fingers crossed they
So
buy the name and they're smart and they do that.
no, no, no. They have their own name.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's down the road a little bit.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So in another kind of category, the city and the school, we had the chief of police, Jay Prettyman, retired this year. He also was the winner of the Citizen of the Year award.
How did you not get
Uh,
that, Drew?
I've uh, I've I've already received that award.
Doesn't
I
surprise
won
me
that
at all.
award in 2014. You didn't know that? I didn't tell you that before?
Is that what that little trophy is behind you there for everyone watching on YouTube? That's Drew's Citizen of the Year World Award right
No,
there.
that's a football trophy that one of my parents gave me
Oh,
at
oh,
the
oh.
end of the season.
Oh, is that what it says on your bumper sticker on the back of your car? 2014 Citizen of the Year.
No.
I'm just messing with you.
Funny. But on top of that, Bill Campbell was named the new Ocean City chief of police. So, congrats, Chief Campbell. Um, from what I understand, everybody is very happy with Bill Campbell as the new chief of police. Not that they don't get me wrong, not that they weren't happy with Chief Prettyman. That's not how I meant that, but I just mean that Bill Campbell is also very well respected within the OCPD. So congratulations. Moving on. So Fourth Ward Councilman, we talked about this before. Fourth Ward Councilman Bob Barr stepped down from City Council, and he was appointed to the county commissioner seat. Dave Winslow was named to take Bobby Barr's Fourth Ward Council seat, and Marie Hayes. So Dave was appointed to the Fourth Ward seat, and Marie Hayes was appointed to the county surrogate seat. And then subsequently, all three had to run for those seats, and all three won those seats. So congratulations to Bob Barr as county commissioner. Congratulations to Dave Winslow as Fourth Ward councilman, and congratulations to Marie Hayes as county surrogate. Now, in Ocean City, our ward council elections will be next May of 2024. So Dave Winslow will have to, if he chooses, that seat will be up for reelection. All 4 wards are up for reelection in May. So when we talked about having some things to talk about, that's certainly going to be one of them.
Yeah, it's Dave Winslow, man. Nonstop campaigning.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about it, all 4 seats are going to be up for election. So that'll be some good conversation.
Oh man,
yeah, and we're going to have some good fireworks.
Throw your hat in the ring, Drew?
Never.
No. Are we up? Is it a mayoral election too?
No. I think you weren't listening when we went over this at one of our previous
2026, right? 2026 will be mayor election.
So they're staggered. The 4 ward council, and then the mayor runs with the 3 at-large council. So that'll be in 2026. Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, Dr. Wendy O'Neill was named the permanent principal at Ocean City High School. Congrats to Wendy, Dr. O'Neill, excuse me.
God bless you, Dr. O'Neill.
Yep. Then in bigger news, probably, right? In bigger news, in August of 2022, Matt Friedman took over as the superintendent of schools after 15 years of Dr. Kathy Taylor-Baum. Matt Friedman was chosen to replace her. And less than 8 months later, in February of March of 2023, Matt Friedman resigned to take a position in Quakertown. Kind of big news, when you hire a superintendent, they're not supposed to be a temp, right?
They gave him a 3-year contract, and he just said, "Peace. I'm going to go make 20K more closer to my house."
Yep.
So you guys have
I see that as a blessing in disguise, honestly. So I know it's taken a while. We're on our second interim since he left. I have faith that the current school board is going to get it right this time. They're going to get a new and good superintendent. I did not think from the first time I met Dr. Friedman, which was, I think, his first week on the job, I was not impressed, not a fan. I did not think he was the right guy for Ocean City. It's just a personal feeling. So hopefully that's a blessing in disguise, and we get a superstar as our school superintendent.
It sounds like that you need to sit in the interview process here, Drew, and give the local guy.
No, it was no expertise. It was just a feel. I just didn't have.
Hey man, you gotta trust your gut, Drew. If you get that feeling. You told me that one time. If you get that feeling, it's probably true. So
I do believe that. I do believe that.
So
and then in other school news, we had an election in November there were 3 Board of Education seats open, and we have 3 new Board of Ed members. Mike Allegretto, Jocelyn Polygonis, and Corey Klemick were elected, and congrats to those 3. Looking forward to good stuff from the school board.
Got a big job right from the jump. Got to hire the new superintendent.
Yep.
Not to mention navigate the craziness that ensued to start the school year here. So
what craziness was that?
Just book fairs and curriculum and all kinds of other stuff that just
I forgot about that. That, Dom.
So, well, they didn't have to deal with that. The old board has to deal with that. but I'm sure there'll be some carryover.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's not going away into the good night. We'll move
As
on.
it should.
So the next is some city stuff. And as I said, I had about 34, 35 items that I pared down to 23. And this one was not going to make the original cut, but it's a late Christmas gift to you, Dom.
Oh, I
And
see it.
this
I see it on the
item
list
is
here. I'm following it. The
yes.
list here.
So
It's like
so the city council voted to give themselves and the mayor raises for the first time in almost 20 years, close to 20 years. I still believe that they're underpaid. But it was, there are certain people who didn't like the fact that they gave themselves almost 100% increase. Some people were
almost.
disgruntled by that.
It was 100% increase.
No, it was just under. They went from 10,300 to 20,000 for the council.
Well, 99.99997%.
That's why I said almost, Don.
So no, I guess I'll have to change my my tagline to 99.97% raises.
That's right. That's right. So that was a big deal. Again, I personally think it was long overdue and they deserve it.
No, they definitely do.
Probably,
they do definitely deserve more money. They do a lot of good things here for the community. They deal with a lot of issues, and things behind the scenes. So, good for them. And, as a volunteer myself in the community, I wouldn't mind getting some kind of salary or something for the
I already
time.
told you I was going to double your pay as coach of the Junior Raiders.
Well, it's funny when we were at the meeting talking about, various things, and we were thinking about, maybe having to change statuses and stuff. I'm like, well, wait a minute. If we change statuses, then, we can, maybe create some salary positions here.
Budget. Yeah.
Get some salary positions here, because I got about 4 hours worth of stuff to do before the new year here. Yeah. So, when am I going to find time to do that? But we will.
So the next item on the list, Dom, it was a big item.
The big item? Dun, dun, dun.
One of the big items. So after 2 summers of increasingly bad and rowdy behavior by teens on the beach and the boardwalk in the downtown, Memorial Day weekend 2023 saw total chaos, a rager. Weekend-long rager by teens. So
again, though, not from my inside sources, not local kids, but incredibly good-looking out-of-town kids.
Yes, it would. That's what I'm hearing across the board from
really ridiculously good-looking out-of-towners.
Yeah, cops and merchants all said it wasn't local kids. The kids were coming in from all over. Anyway, they were completely out of hand. So the city took some pretty bold steps, and they did it pretty quickly. And what they did was they closed the beaches island wide, beginning at 8 p.m. They created a ban of backpacks on the boardwalk. They closed the boardwalk bathrooms at 10 p.m. and they created an 11 p.m. island-wide curfew for minors. Some pretty big steps there. And there was a lot of talk about those moves. Closing the beaches at 8 p.m. was probably the biggest move, right? And the one that probably affected more people, or seemingly affected more people. It was kind of the fallout of these teens' behavior. But I think there was some common sense involved. And if you were a 30-something couple that was walking the beach at 52nd Street hand in hand at 9 o'clock at night, I don't think the cops were arresting you and calling your parents. So they had some common sense. But the
Never know,
outcome
man.
was swift and immediate peace. I mean, the boardwalk
Yes.
transformed immediately. And I think I mentioned this. I was up there on a Saturday evening. It was fairly early evening. Getting a magical cheesesteak, by the way, if you recall. Promenade.
Very good.
And it was right after, I think it was the week after, if I remember right. I could be wrong about that, but that might be one of those Easter eggs, Dom. It's one of those untruths that I'm going to slip into the podcast from time to time. Anyway, it was lovely up there on a Saturday night. There was families, there was teenagers who were being very respectful, and mostly families. It was quiet. I mean, it was busy Saturday night in the heart of the summer, but no nonsense. So the city shut it down. So good on you, Mayor Gillian and City Council, and Chief Prettyman at the time. They acted swiftly and decisively and gave us back our island.
Yeah, that was a big, definitely a good move.
Yep.
You know, as my my son approaches the age where, you know, you can go up there and do some things and have some fun. And, you know, I remember the wholesome fun I used to have up there. You know, it seems like it's moving more back in that direction and less of the, you know, social media nightclub for
right
underage kids.
Kegger on the beach.
So,
yeah. And then spilling onto the boardwalk and
everywhere else. But
so
I actually
good job to the city.
No, I was gonna say I ran into an old friend right before the holiday. And they're like, "You do the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "I heard your one about the boardwalk, and I was very scared as to what you guys were gonna say." And then you were like, said all good things about it. I'm like, "Well, yeah, like it was the right thing to do." You know, did it suck? Was it crappy? But yeah, if it's what we got to do to avoid,
absolutely,
chaos, then, you know, and who knows, you know, you're on the boardwalk, you still got the beach closed signed up there, it's still up there, so it looks like it's gonna stick around for 2024. You know, eventually though, maybe they'll take that over to Longport or Margate, somewhere like that.
Or those teenagers will, you know, become 20-somethings.
Always be teenagers, Joe. Always be teenagers.
Yeah. Let's hope for the best for 2024.
Yeah, man. And if we gotta, you know, like you said, go for a walk a little bit further away from the boardwalk, then so be it.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, so I'll call this the kind of miscellaneous category, right? USA Today named Ocean City the best beach in the Northeast. And the Northeast is Maryland to Maine. So it seems that every year Ocean City is getting some sort of best beach award, and rightly so. And this year it was USA Today. So yay!
What will it be in 2024? That is the question.
Now we're getting into the gambling aspect of our show, and we'll take odds. Dominick, the bookie on our podcast, will take odds for what the award will be.
I'm gonna say, I don't know. That's a tough one. Best beach in the Northeast. You know, we've won best beach in the country, best beach on the East Coast, best beach in New Jersey.
East Coast. Let's go for the East Coast.
East Coast in
We'll expand
2024.
from northeast in 2023 to the East Coast in 2024.
Let's just go worldwide. Let's go worldwide. Let's go worldwide.
We'll see what happens.
Why even stop at the East Coast? Let's go worldwide.
So the next one is, kind of quiet, but it's a little bit of a big deal. So the BL England power plant and cooling tower were both imploded in 2023. So most people don't know the view of the bay without BL England, right? I mean, it's just been there for so long.
Yeah.
And it is now gone. They took it down in two separate days. They took the plant down, and then they took the cooling tower down, and it was something to see. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I remember being walking my dog on the dog beach when they took down the tower. I was like, boom. And I remember when they took down the plant. No, that's when they took down the plant. I was on dog beach. When they took down the tower, I was at work. I was like, boom, boom. What's going on? And I'm
not only did you hear them, you felt them.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And like you said, I have never seen it without it, and now
that's right.
It's weird.
Yeah, and it's weird.
And they are planning some development over there, aren't they?
They're supposed to. I've heard a bunch of different things. I'm not sure what's real right now, honestly.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So the next up is right in your wheelhouse, Dom. The Ocean City Beach Patrol, which you are an alum, celebrated 125 years of service.
I don't know if I call myself an alum, but
well, you were
I was a member.
Yeah, so that makes you an alum, right?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll discuss that one off there.
Distancing yourself from the Ocean City Beach Patrol for some reason?
No, more they're distancing themselves from me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, that didn't end well. For me back in 2008, I think it was, or 2000.
All right, that sounds like that might be a topic of its own episode. So we'll leave that where that lies right now.
Honestly, best thing that ever happened to me was them telling me that it was time to hang up your swim trunks and move on to bigger and better things. So,
things happen for a reason, buddy, right?
They do. Generally, it's the things you think, when one door closes, another 5 open.
That's right.
So
that's right.
But no, it was a good job. It was a good experience. Definitely enjoyed my time there, and they definitely do a great job. Like, I don't think people who come to the beach here in in Ocean City realize how much training, how much planning, how much really goes into being an ocean lifeguard. It's not an easy job.
It's serious business. It's serious business.
Yeah. I mean, it's great and it looks super fun. You are seconds away though from having people's lives in your hands. And,
sure.
It's cool though too. When I was a lifeguard, there was always a slogan on the shirts that said, once a lifeguard, always a lifeguard. And it really is true. I think I've saved more people now. I'll probably save more people since I've not been a lifeguard, just being out in the water and being around the water and knowing what to look for and knowing what to see and being like, all right, that's not good, and then just ended up saving people. Pretty crazy story. Best thank you I ever got was the summer after I wasn't allowed a lifeguard anymore, but we would still go back and row the boats when we had boats. And one morning in late August, I told myself I was going to go row because summer was ending, the boats were going to go away. And if you've ever rowed a lifeguard boat, it's pretty awesome. It's super fun. So I fought myself. I'm like, I'm going to go. was bartending at the time. I got home late. I was like, you know what, screw it. So I just ended up going. And I was out there rowing, and I looked over. I was on 8th Street, right down the street from my house, rowing. And I look over at the jetty at 9th Street. And anybody listening to this, don't ever swim by that jetty at any point in your life. There is no
No.
reason to go by that jetty.
Right.
There's a giant hole at the end of it. So, like, you can literally go from ankle deep water and you can take a step and you're in like 20 or 30 feet of water. And there were these 2 little kids, and one kid was in the hole and his brother was sitting there yelling at him, like, get out, get out, get out. I ended up rowing over, picking them up, throwing them in just as these big waves came, ended up getting in. And the kid looks at me and he goes, thank you, mister. He goes, thank you, Mr. Lifeguard. I go, dude, I'm not a lifeguard. I just happened to show up here this morning, go for a row. He's like, best thank you I ever got. But, you know, it just goes to show you, like, those kids and young men and women who are out there on the stand, like, they take that with them forever, and it's those skills they learn. So, you know, good for them. Ocean City, you know, if you ever get a chance to go to that 4th Street life-saving station, it's pretty cool to see how far it's come.
Yeah.
You know, from the days of the wooden boats, the fiberglass boats. I'm really ashamed I'm really upset actually with the Beach Patrol for taking all the boats off the beach. They were, you know, not only were they iconic photos for so many families, you know, if you needed them, they were the best way to save, you know, a large amount of people. But you know, it is what it is. You got to be safe for the guards, I guess. So, but hats off to the Ocean City Beach Patrol on their 125 years.
125 years. Happy birthday. Yep.
That's it, man.
So,
but we're going to find that kid that I saved, because that was like 20 some years ago now. I want to find him.
So he's close to 30, or around 30. He's probably the CEO of a, you know, Fortune 500, Dom.
Hey, man, as long as he's healthy and happy and living his life to the fullest, I would love to meet him and say what's up.
Yeah. So the next item happened in June and July, and that was the Canadian wildfires and the orange alert that was created in New Jersey from the smoke from those wildfires. And that's one of those events that, you know, sometimes you forget, but at the time it was pretty crazy, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I remember being on the beach at the north end of Ocean City and not being able to see Longport, because of the smoke, not because of fog, because of smoke. It was thick, it was heavy. So that was a pretty wild time that we got to experience that. That was
we had to be careful with our football practices and, like, you know, do we really want to be outside, and, you know, how much are we going to work? Like,
right. Pretty wild. I'm going to back up to March, when a dead pygmy sperm whale washed up on an Ocean City beach. And, you know, we had been aware of the pending wind farms, and there was people that were against it, but there was a lot of kind of complacency at the beginning of 2023. And I think that dead whale washing up on our beach really started the snowball downhill of the local protest of the windmills. I think that dead whale really, and, you know, even at the time, now it's almost it's been proven that the sonar mapping of the ocean floor harms marine mammals, specifically whales and dolphins. So that is now a proven fact. You know, the governor, the DEP, Orsted, they can all try to deny it, but it's been proven, right? And I think that dead whale really kind of hit home for a lot of Ocean City residents that, this is getting real, right? This not only will it affect our view, but will affect our marine life, our habitat. It'll affect our fishing industry, and eventually our tourism industry, and by virtue our housing market, right? So that was the kickoff. So the next on the list is, while we went through all of that, Ørsted decided to halt the construction of Ocean Wind 1 and Ocean Wind 2. And I do say halt because they said halt. Now, the leases are still in effect, and we'll see where that goes. But Ørsted halted those two projects in 2023.
Yep, and there's still money getting dumped into those projects though. So
yep,
we'll see. I think if we can,
we'll see. I think is how we have to leave that, because there's lots of speculation.
Fingers crossed we can, get a little, not to get too political here, but kind of change the power scheme in Trenton. I think that'll help maybe put some of it to bed. We'll see though.
We'll see. Let's hope.
A lot of money. We got to follow the money, especially in projects like that. So got to follow the money.
So speaking of which, the next item is one of the big items of the year. So last February at a city council meeting, a local developer and an owner of several Cape May County resort hotels, Eustace Mita, principal of Icona Resorts, made a presentation to the city council and administration, asking for the city to sell a city-owned beachfront parcel between 5th and 6th Street, east of the high school and the Civic Center, with his goal to build a massive destination resort hotel, the Icona Ocean City. That was, as you recall, Dom, and we've talked about this, that was from a local news perspective, that may have been the biggest item of the year. Right?
I will. I definitely will. It made it, for us, we made it into Philly. We definitely, it was a topic of a couple Philly news stations a few times. People were really scared about the BYOB and, that kind of stuff that wasn't really, it was just people getting worried. All
kinds of speculation, all kinds of the rumor mill, the speculation, and it was on fire, right?
Yeah, man, it was all anybody talked about that first for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a long news cycle, at least this day and age.
It sure is. Now, shortly after that presentation, Mayor Gillian came out and made a public statement that he could not support this project. So seemingly it is dead. We all have thoughts on that, right? That's part of the rumor mill. So we'll see what happens. I've been following certain aspects of that. And if anything happens, we will certainly report on it, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel that one's not going away. Just like the windmills, that one is not going away.
We'll see. We'll leave that with, let's see what happens. We'll be sitting on the edge of our seats.
We might be sitting on that one until 2026.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yep. That's not going away.
So the number 23 of our top 23 of 23. Number 23. So I'm saying 23, but it was really a count up. So this is really number one. If it's top list, this is number one. The most important thing to have happened in Ocean City in 2023. Drum roll, Dom. That's it, really? That's the best you got?
How long do you want me to drum roll here for?
It's biggie. It's a big one. The creation of the OCNJ Local podcast. The airing of the podcast began in 2023. These are fireworks.
Fireworks. They're everywhere right now. No, Drew, it's cool, man. You've had this idea for a while, and to persist it and see it come through, and to practice my gratitude. Like I said before, I'm grateful to be a part of it. It's been
couldn't do it without you, buddy.
It's been a fun 19
and
episodes.
It's fun. We're having fun doing this, so this is a lot of fun.
It's a good time, and thank you those of you that listen. We appreciate you, and
we do.
We wouldn't be here without you. Otherwise, we'd just be talking to ourselves. So
which we do
wouldn't really be a bad thing either. I'd still be having fun.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be recorded. Yeah.
Yeah. So
good year in Ocean City, right? We had a good year. Some things that were not great, of course, but Ocean City had another good year, and proud and grateful to live in this awesome town, and proud and grateful to be able to talk about this awesome town. And I'm sure that we will have plenty to talk about in 2024, Dom.
Yes, we will. It'll be here before we know it.
Yep. So happy holidays, happy new year to everyone out there. And we will we'll be back in 2024.
That we will. Yeah. So again, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for making this a great first year here of the podcast. And looking forward to many more to come.
Yep.
So until next year, this has been the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys. Fans
Peace
first,
out,
baby.